Hello. It's been a while since I've been here. I both do and don't have a lot to go over since last time I did a vlog. But for those of you who are watching, thank you. For those of you who've watched them in the past and are coming back, thank you as well. My name is Bowie Barks. If you don't know, thank you for finding this channel. I am a furry, coder, creator, etc. And I've been trying to work on a lot of projects lately. One thing that's a little weird to me is that I started working on a lot more projects after I found out that I'm not going to be doing staffing for my local FurryCon, Megaplex. It was after that that I finally started making time to work on projects again. So, for instance, right now I'm working on a fursuit head for my partner. Um, I have not trimmed any of the fur here for the ears. I was trying to get an idea of like what it might look like and what the shape might be. And I have gotten to sewing the fur with the patterns for the head. And I'm about to start on the back of it, the back and the neck area and the lower jaw, which is not going to be moving. I admit, to me, it looks a little weird, both, that it's not cleaned. Like I was going to clean up the edges of things here, like the stars and moons. And also, that it's kind of just a blob over this form. But I'm happy that I'm finally making progress on that again. I hope that I didn't bump my mic too much. It was my birthday recently, and one of my best friends, if you are listening, thank you so much for doing this. I won't say your name in case you don't want that out there. I don't know. But I really appreciate it. One of my friends got me a DJI wireless mic because they know that I like to do videos and record, and they know that I've been wanting to improve my mic skills a bit. So I hope that this sounds good. I haven't done any real setup with it. I basically just tested that it works, but I know there's a lot of like settings you can do. I love that it has a little magnet on it and a clip, so I have a few different ways that I can attach it to myself. And yeah, I'm really glad that I'm, slowly upping my game. I'm still, for the time being, going to do things like use my iPhone, which I'm using to record, and, cheap lights around, like small lights that I have set up, because I don't plan on doing anything big, both anytime soon, and I don't think I really need all of those things. I think that the video and audio quality are very good for what they are, and, good enough for this. I'm just jumping all around. I'm probably going to cut out that part where I just did some typing because I probably shouldn't be looking at text while I'm recording. Anyway, let's see. A few things working on fursuit. I am going to eventually get back to working on a fursuit body. I'm also working on some new sticker designs and merch. And I started doing two web apps again. So one is a scavenger hunt web app that I made for Megaplex last year. If you went, you might have seen these little QR codes with the different mascots of the con around places. And if you scanned one, then you would start doing a stamp rally, basically. And, if you collected all of them, you would get special prize. And if you, like, I think if you just collected, I think we said like two or three of them, we would at least, if you found one of the staff with stickers, you could get some free stickers of the mascots. Um, so I think it went well, but certainly because it was the first time that it was being, used like a live setting, I noticed some issues that, I didn't get in my own personal testing. So I started fixing those. And then I also, just in the past like week or two, I started taking the code and making it a little bit easier for other people to use. So my ultimate goal with it wasn't just to build a scavenger hunt as a one-off thing, but to build a digital stamp rally tool, which I might maybe rename it so that's so people can who already are familiar with that term will use that, like for various cons that have stamp rallies between some artists to try to encourage more sales with those artists. So I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'm probably gonna make a video on it soon. It has the ability now for you to update the various text on it, update the stamps, update placeholders, uh, do all the various things they might want to do, update the positioning, ordering, how many you need to get to win, etc. Anyway, it was a lot of fun working on it, and it was a lot of fun doing something that I knew that, potentially thousands of people We ended up having several hundred people participate, but I was like, oh, this is an event with like 10,000 people. There could be a lot of people on this, and part of me was worried that if people tried to use it and it might slow down. That thankfully wasn't an issue. It was more an issue of there were a few edge cases that I'd not considered, mainly around the network and the fact that we tried to do it so it would do different scans all 3 days of the con. Yeah, let's see. I also recently finally got myself a little day bag. As you can see, I love bags. I have a lot around, but I wanted something small that was just for creativity. And I love Lilo and Stitch because my partner loves Lilo and Stitch and really got me into it more. And so I created a little creativity bag for myself. So when I go out, I don't need to carry, like my whole backpack and everything. The hardest part was finding one that was just big enough to hold my iPad mini, but also hold all the other things I want without getting too expensive because some of these bags can get like really pricey or too bloated of a bag. So this one I think was about $15. And I have a few things. I have a magnetic little tripod. So, it comes out and it can extend, and it's like tabletop size, but the point is having something that isn't like my full gimbal, which is a bit heavier and everything, and that just has the MagSafe to hold my phone, or clip if you need to hold something else. And yeah, I also have my notebook. I know I've done little shorts about these things. I put my own stickers on them and stuff just to keep all of my general notes. A battery pack, one that's MagSafe and has a stand, so it works for my phone, and a not very often used sketchbook. I say not often used because I have bigger ones that I keep by my desk for when I'm sketching things. I am still trying to get myself into practice doing art more frequently so I can improve my drawing. What other things do I make sure? A little bag of various medications, like aspirin, Pepto-Bismol. I don't know why I'm blanking on these, just little things like that. Eyeglass cloth, a cute little brush that I found because even though I had longer hair last time I did a video, I would hate when it gets all poofy and messed up. Cute little USB-C cable that's retractable. Notice that I brand most all of my things, in part because I want them to be cute, and in part so I know that it's mine, and a few other little odds and ends. But yeah, I have a friend coming to visit from out of town. They're going to be here for a bit over a week. They're coming later today. So by the time I post this video, they'll be here, and we're planning on going to South Florida to go do a few nerdy things in that area. We're probably going to go to Busch Gardens this weekend. We're going to do a few things just so they can, experience a bit of Florida culture and everything outside of like going to a con. And yeah, next week I'll probably post some pictures or something. I don't know if I'm going to do a vlog again that soon because, I'll have them here. Who knows? Maybe I'll make the downtime. What else? Mental health, improving that. We should all do that. I finally started seeing a new therapist. I've been thankful that we have better insurance now and our deductible's been met, so I don't feel guilty. I shouldn't really feel guilty for that, but I mean, in this day and age and everything, I can't just go like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do this when it costs so much money. So thankfully that's getting covered. I also read a report and a blog post that Nikki Case did. They're a web artist who does really great work, and I admire them and aspire to be like them. And they recently, maybe a month or two ago, looked at some reports and studies about the use of vitamin D as opposed to placebos and antidepressants, and found that it has some statistical correlation. I still am on my various meds. I'm not saying, change up what your doctor says or anything, but I have just recently started taking some vitamin D supplements. I had little pills that I would just take with my morning pills. Now I have some gummies, which I'll try not to eat because they are tasty, but I'll try not to eat too many, get too happy all at once. It's dangerous. I know I'm just rambling. That's kind of what these vlogs are. Again, I really appreciate any of y'all who stick around, who watch these, who comment on them, who read my newsletter. This is going out with my latest newsletter, which should be get on Friday morning. You can find it at david.garden. I'll put a link, I guess, here. Let's see if I can make myself edit it in, and also in the comments. And I am trying to get to video essay making, which means I'm going to have to focus a lot more on making a script so I don't just start saying random things here and saying and so much like I do. And oh, an end. That's what I drag out time with. That's where I'm at. I think this is plenty long enough. I'm sure there's a lot more that I could be talking about, but I'll try to take little bits of video or something to spice up my next vlog from the various trips we're going on this week. So, again, I think for like the third or fourth time, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a friend. And yeah, have a good one.